It's the return of true journalism with news you can act on in real time with none other than the one and only Brigitte Gabriel. Hello, Brigitte.
Hello, my friend. So glad to be back. So glad to be doing another show with you. This is so exciting. I love the feedback we are getting. I love how energized people are, how many people are taking action on the website. Do you know right now on Act for America, we have over 43 million actions taken on the website where people sent emails to their elected officials, made phone calls, posted on Facebook. It's amazing to see the engagement that we are seeing. So we are excited about this, and we thank you all of you who are joining us right now. This is news you can act on. And the title said it all. You know, they say you can read an envelope by its title, or you can read the letter by its title. Where this show is about not only giving you the news and the issues of the day, but also what you can do with the news and how you can make a difference. And today I want to talk about community organizing. So community organizing is the topic of the show. And here's why I wanted to talk about this brand. You remember the first time we heard community organization, community organizing, it was with Obama. You know, on our side, the conservatives, Republicans, they just don't think about community organizing. This sounds like a lefty thing or a very progressive thing. And people became more and more aware of the phrase community organizer with President Obama, and nobody really knew what community organizer is. Until after 8 years of President Obama being president, by the end of that time, the country was really aware, especially on the conservative side, what community organization is all about. Because that's how the left was so structured, so organized, so methodically. They do things strategically and methodically, and they all sing off the same sheet of music, and they do it nationwide in every state, in every county. And that's all organization, coordinated organization, and it's all coordinated starting at the community level. So that's community organizing. And today I want to teach you, I want to share with you how you can community organize on the local level. Now, on our side, people do not understand what community organization is. They think that's something that the left does, that we do not know what to do. But here's what I want you to consider. Here's a thought for your consideration. Have you ever organized a book club in your community? Have you ever been a part of a book club? Have you ever been a part of a Bible study? Have you ever organized a Bible study? Have you ever been a part of the PTA at school? Have you ever organized a meeting? Have you ever been a part of a gardening club? Is there a gardening club in your neighborhood? Is there a dinner club in your neighborhood? These are small groups that decide, you know what, I love reading books. I'm going to find other people like me who read books. I'm going to start a book club. And we're going to choose a book, and we're all going to read it, and we're all going to discuss it. So you invite 5 of your closest friends, and you say, hey, I'm starting a book club. You also enjoy reading. Why don't you join me? Let's read together. And you choose a book, and you all read it, and it's your book club, and you discuss it. The same thing with That's community organizing, except in this case, you organized within your community to have a book club or to join a book club or to start a book club. Now, the same thing with a gardening club in your neighborhood. I do not know about you, but in my community, there's a gardening club in my neighborhood. Actually, they call it a gardening club with a drinking problem. They all get together for lunch. Everybody brings a bottle of wine. They eat the chicken. They socialize for 2 hours, and they discuss gardening for 5 minutes. So that's the gardening club in my neighborhood. But again, it's community organizing. And do you know, people meet, I met more neighbors in my gardening club than I would have, if I did not join the gardening club. It's amazing. Now I can walk through the neighborhood and I can wave at my neighbors. And, my husband goes, oh my God, how do you know all these people? And I'm like, the gardening club. So it's community organizing in a neighborhood. Have you ever been a part of a neighborhood watch? In my old neighborhood, before I moved to this one, we had the neighborhood watch. And I also was a member of the neighborhood watch. And we organized in our community. And we took turns with the homeowners association, choosing, again, who's going to be a member of the homeowners association. I know a lot of you watching me right now. A lot of you are members of a homeowners association in your neighborhood. So What I'm talking about is community organizing 101. Now, the good things about starting clubs like this is you get to know your neighbors, you get to network, you be involved in issues. Now, I'm going to talk about political organization because this show is about news affecting our culture and everything affecting our culture, our livelihood, the police in our community, our schools, our children, and what they are being educated about in the school system. All that falls under politics. If you think to yourself, I've never been involved in politics, I never want to get involved in politics, guess what? Whether you are involved or not, politicians decide whether you can call 911 and a police officer shows up at your door at 2 o'clock in the morning if you are being robbed. That is a political decision, whether you're engaged or not. If you have a mayor in your community who tells the police to stand down if there is anything, that is somebody in your community that was elected that affects your life and your lifestyle, whether you voted or not, or whether you were engaged or not. That's called things affecting your life. So in this show, we are talking about how we together can organize in our own communities so we can take back our communities, so we can ensure that our police is funded in our community and is strong, so our children can go to school without us being worried about their teacher teaching them that, oh no, you're not a girl, you're actually a boy. And as a matter of fact, if you want to have a transgender surgery, you don't even have to notify your parents. We can make that happen and you are protected under the law. You know exactly what I'm talking about because these are the issues we are dealing with right now. And even though you may not have a child of your own, you may have a grandchild, you may have a niece, a nephew, you may have a godson or a goddaughter that you care about so very much that they are affected by these issues and by these laws. So this is why we want you engaged, and this is what community organization is all about. And it's just as easy as this. So did I make it simple enough, Brent? Do you think that I make it simple enough for the people to understand?
You sure did, Brigitte. It's as simple as it can get. And, you know, folks, Obama's Organized for Action operated under the radar. You know, we like
right.
to spend money on conventions and events and rallies and such, but the left puts millions of dollars into specific areas for campaigning and boots on the ground. That's why it's never been more important to go to actforamerica.org and join a chapter or start a chapter right there where you are, folks. The largest grassroots organization for conservatives in America. You know, Brigitte, every time you go and speak, you bring the house down, people love you, and you give people the same energy, whether it's small group of people, which are a few of those, and then, you know, thousands of people that I've seen you, like at the, Southwestern Conservative Summit. But the message is the same. We love conventions. We love rallies. We love special events. But when it comes to actual boots on the ground, activism, we really got to come together and take a lesson from the left and outdo them by starting a chapter or joining a chapter on actforamerica.org today.
Thank you, Brent. Great point. Thank you for bringing up actforamerica.org for people to get involved. You can go to actforamerica.org, click on Get Involved, start a chapter in your community or join a chapter in your community, sign up to receive our emails and action alerts. If you have a group already up and going, make sure you register your group with Act for America so we can support you, so we can share with you our resources, the stuff that we learned, the videos that we have, the community organizing that we have. And Brent, you brought up such an important point that we talk about all the time. Conferences are wonderful. They are great entertainment events where you hear great speakers. Look, I'm a speaker at so many different conferences. You brought up, the Conservative Summit. It's a great event for people to come together, to get together, to network together. People get so excited. Oh my gosh, I'm going to go to, whether CPAC, whether Turning Point, whether whatever conference, you name it. There are plenty of wonderful conferences on the right. And it's a great event where you hear great speakers. I'm going to hear Don Jr. and I'm going to hear Charlie Kirk and I'm going to hear Jeanine Pirro and I'm going to hear Brigitte Gabriel. And it's wonderful and there's great energy. But don't lose sight that this is not activism. This is not community organizing. This is entertainment. It's like going to a concert, watching performers, and in this case, it's a political entertainment event. So the performers are political pundits like me, Jeanine Pirro, Charlie Kirk, Don Jr., Laura Ingraham, Sean Hannity, Tucker Carlson, whoever happened to be speaking at that convention, at that conference. And then everybody is excited and everybody is on fire. And then you go home after a week and you think to yourself, oh my gosh, I am on such a high because the energy in the room, the patriots that were at that conference. And then you come home a week later and you don't know what to do. You learn so much information, and you get home and it's like, okay, now I'm educated. What can I do? What can I do with the education that I learned at the conference? So what we do in this show and what we do with Act for America is show you what you can do to take action. If you go on our Act Now campaigns, or if you go to actforamerica.org, click on Act Now on the top banner. We have Act Now National, Act Now State, and we have national campaigns about bills coming down for a vote in Congress where you can take action, where you can send an email directly to your elected official so they can hear from you. The same thing on the state level. We are on national television. You're probably watching us in many parts of the United States. So whether you are watching us in Vermont, in Florida, in Montana, in California, in Oklahoma, in Mississippi, no matter what state you're watching us from, in Virginia, New York, it doesn't matter. We have state action campaigns that you can take action on, especially if the state legislatures are in session in your state, because we monitor all these bills coming down for a vote and we notify you so you can make your voice heard. The left does not have conferences. Can you name me one conference on the left that's the equivalent on CPAC? You know, everybody talks about CPAC. Oh my gosh, it's a great event. You know, it's a great light and music show. You hear great speakers. It's a 3-day event. It's all over television. You know, the left media and the mainstream media and the conservative media. Can you name me one conference like that on the left? You can't, because they don't exist. They don't waste their energy on conferences like this. What they do is they community organize on their state level. So what they do, they say, instead of spending $5 million at a conference, because big conferences cost a lot of money, they say, okay, we're going to go into name any city, Wichita, Kansas. We're going to go into Wichita. And we're going to spend $100,000 in Wichita, and we're going to hire, or we're going to organize a neighborhood captains or a neighborhood leader. We're going to call them group leaders in any neighborhood, in every neighborhood. And we're going to have that neighborhood leader gets to know and meet every single person in that neighborhood. And they're going to start a club or a chapter in their neighborhood. And they're going to get together and they're going to make a list of all their city council members, school board members, who we're going to keep, who do we want to get rid of, who do we want to character assassinate? How can we replace them with people who represent our values, meaning the left's values? That's how they organized. It all boils down to starting a group in your community and getting organized in your neighborhoods. It's a great way to meet your neighbor, make new friends who share your values. And we have many ideas for you on our website on how you can do that. Very easy. You can have a petition. If you do not know where your neighbors stand, you can knock on their door, say, hey, we're signing a petition here to support our police. Do you agree that we need to stand with our police in our community to keep our community safe? Anybody that says, of course, we love our police officers, where can I sign? You know they are on the same page with you politically. You know they share your values. If they say, oh, defund the police, the jerks, we don't like them. We believe we need to have, community policing instead of police officers who are abusing their power. You know they don't stand with you on issues. So this way you don't tell them where you stand and you just go to the next house. And this way you meet your neighbors, you get to know your neighbors. Not everybody can do that, but this is just one idea of many that I am sharing with you. Another thing you can do, invite your friends for a pizza party on a Friday night. Now I know you and I know at least 4 more people, right, Brent? Right. If we invite each one of us know 4 more people who feel the same way and about our country, what we're concerned about, they share our values, and we can call our 4 friends and say, show up to my house Friday night, pizza party, my treat. I'll bring the pizza, you bring the soda, you bring the paper plates and the napkins, you bring dessert, and we're going to get together and we're going to start an Act for America chapter in our neighborhood or in our community. It could be members of your Bible study. It could be members of your book club, which is you're already meeting with them anyway, and you know exactly where they stand. They could be members of your Rotary Club that you met them through the Rotary Club or the Tea Party or the Republican Club or Parents Educational Club. It doesn't matter. But that's how you become organized. And then you yourself can start making a list of who's our local school board member, who's our local city council member. And then every meeting, each one of your friends, each one of you invite one more person for the next meeting. Meet once a month, last Friday of the month. It'll be a great way to get together, form a friend group, catch up with each other, and then every person invites only one more friend. Now, every single one of us knows one more friend that the other friends do not know that we can invite. And if everybody does that, in no time, you will have a group in your community that's going to be over 400, 500 people that you no longer probably meet at your house. You probably meet at some room in a restaurant where everybody orders breakfast on a Saturday morning, or dinner on a Saturday night. You can get a room at Outback Steakhouse and all get together and say, okay, we're meeting at Outback Steakhouse for our dinner meeting. But the point that I'm making is you can grow your chapter enough to actually vote in office anyone you want. Do you know that in school board meetings and school board elections, like in my local community, I live in a medium-sized city, 500,000 people. Do you know for the school board election, only 150 people voted? 150 people. Now, can you imagine? I know there are choir groups, Bible study groups that are bigger than 150 people. You could literally run somebody from your group and put them in office, and this way you can ensure your values are represented in your community.
Brigitte, I can't imagine what would happen. Well, actually, I can. All the home groups, all the neighborhood watches who do not want to be abandoned by a police department, all of the churches, all the multiple campuses and all of their home groups and outreaches. I mean, what would happen if those people just took 2 minutes and went to actforamerica.org and signed up for the action alerts? You can do it in that time, folks. And also to actually take action as a group, with a pizza party or at a steakhouse. I mean, folks, really, it's never been easier. There is no other person like you, Brigitte, and there's no other organization that's like Act for America with such a user-friendly website that allows people to literally take action on issues that affect their life. Some of you say, well, I don't get involved in politics. Well, politics gets involved with you, with your paycheck, with your taxes.
That's right.
Brigitte, you know what? It's never been easier to take action, to come together. So many groups are in place. A lot of you are watching us on platforms that you're people of faith. Well, is it any coincidence that the conservative platform lines up with what your Bible says? So, folks, it's really important to come together and imagine all those groups already in place, Brigitte, just getting plugged in to Act for America. You'd have a different country.
Yes, exactly. And what we're doing right now is we have Act in Faith groups, Brand, that are groups started within churches. Because look, what a better place to start a group in your church. I mean, this is talk about community organizing. It's already members in your community. You all believe the same way. You all attend different church events and different functions at church and church plays, and your kids are involved either in the choir or the children, the youth groups, etc. What a better place. So you can go to actforamerica.org right now, click on Get Involved, and start an Act in Faith chapter in your church. We will support you. We will notify you about bills coming down for a vote that you can share with other church members so you can educate your house of worship. And whether you are watching us right now, you are a member of a synagogue, whether you are a member of a church, whether you are a member of a big organized group, whether it's the Rotary Club, the Lions Club, a Tea Party, we're not saying move away from whatever you're doing. We're saying add us, include us, bring us in so we can work together and help you become more effective, more influential, more powerful, more visible in your own community so we can lift you up. We believe a rising tide lifts all boats. When we all come together and work together, we all win in the end. And Brent, this has been the secret sauce for success for the left. Those who want fascism and communism and socialism in our country, who are driving all these crazy ideas of communism in America or socialism. Who would have thought we're going to have a socialist like Bernie Sanders actually run for president, and actually have such traction within our own country? I mean, this would have been unthinkable when Ronald Reagan was in office. Remember Gorbachev, bring down that wall, the Soviet Union fall apart. And now we have people in our country who want to bring back socialism and fascism and communism. What better way to come together and stop the forces that want to destroy our country than by us organizing and coming together and networking together and sharing our resources? Look, we have so many videos on our website, actamerica.org. We have invested in our Act Now tool to the tune of hundreds of thousands of dollars. So we can share it with you, so you can use it, so you can contact your elected officials, so you can be a even more powerful and influential voice in your community. And we all need to come together, not compete together, but work together to lift each other up. Because when we lift each other up, when we work together, we close any hole that any left or any socialism or any Marxism or any fascism wants to sneak into our tight-knit country. What made America great, what bonded us together throughout all our history, is our patriotism. Today we are losing that fabric. Even 20 years ago, after 9/11, who can forget how patriotic America came together? On 9/11, I will never forget the image of our elected officials, Brandt, our members of Congress, at the end of the day in the afternoon, standing on the steps of the Capitol, singing God Bless America. Democrats and Republicans, hand in hand, shoulder to shoulder, are standing together singing God Bless America. 20 years ago. Can you imagine 21, 22 years ago? Not even 22 years ago. What happened to America in a matter of 20 years? How did we get so divided? We shouldn't be divided. We should be united. I am all about uniting together. And you know what? Until the left decides to unite with us in our love for America, we as Christians, as conservatives, need to unite together to protect our country, to protect our communities. Those of us who believe in our police, who stand with our law enforcement, who honor law enforcement. As a matter of fact, when I'm driving, Brand, and I'm stopped at a traffic light and there's a police car, parked next to me, I always make it a point to lower my window and get the attention of that police officer who thinks, oh my gosh, what does this lady want? And I tell them, I just want to thank you for serving our community. I'm so grateful for you. Please tell all your fellow police officers that you work with how much we appreciate them in our community and how much we're so grateful for keeping us safe. I cannot tell you, one man in particular one time almost had tears in his eyes. He couldn't believe I was saying that to him. We are people who love law and order, who believe and respect our heritage, who cherish the memory of our founding fathers and the incredible, exceptional nation that they gave to us. There is more of us in America than there are of them, the lefties, the radical, the fascists, communists, socialists, however they want to transform the country. They're just more vocal. We need to be more vocal. We need to be more authoritative. We need to come together. We need to know who we are and where we are. There are a lot of small groups operating in different parts of the country, in different cities sometimes. They don't even know each other exist. And we need to stop that. We need to get to know each other. We need to get to know one another. We need to work together. We need to share resources. Maybe organize a dinner where all the patriotic group can come together and share and introduce themselves and say who they are and what they're working on, so they can all help each other at the end. After all, we're all working for a better America for us and for our children.
Amen. Well, Brigitte, patriots are united by patriotism. But the left is united by money from our enemies. When you see footage of Antifa or BLM, they don't even know what the issues are. They're there. They're paid $200 that night and given a pipe to do destruction to cities. We've seen that. We've heard it documented. They're not passionate. That's why when the money's not there, they're not there. Remember when Antifa was demanding their money from Soros? But there's not a Soros behind Brigitte Gabriel. And the DNC spends millions of dollars in these areas, but the GOP doesn't seem to be spending millions of dollars in specific areas. Maybe they are.
Grassroots. Right, not on grassroots, Brent. Our side invests in candidates, which is important. We need to support candidates. But you know what? The day after the election, those who lost took down with them all the millions that were wasted. And also the day after the election, even those who won, all these volunteers that work disappear. It's like the whole organization of those volunteers who worked together for 6 months to get that candidate elected, all of a sudden just completely dissipate. And then the next election, we start from scratch. What Act for America does is we organize all these groups. We are building an engine that no matter who comes and who goes, that engine is bigger, stronger for the next election. That's exactly what the left does. That's exactly what they do. We try on our side, on the right, they try to reinvent the wheel time and time again. On the left, they don't need to reinvent the wheel. The wheel is already built. All they need to do is make it stronger, bigger, add more rubber around it so it's stronger to be punctured, so it goes faster. That's what they do, and that's what we need to do. We need to invest in the grassroots. We need to empower the grassroots. If this message resonates with you, I would be so grateful for your support. Go to actforamerica.org and donate today and stand with us today and help us keep this message on the air to educate millions of Americans, bypassing social media, bypassing those who are blocking our emails from getting to our members. You have no idea the censorship on social media. By the way, the left controls all technology. So whether you're sending emails, whether you're posting on social media, no matter what, they are trying to block you. So what we do, we decided to go on the air to bypass all this. Not only that, but our grassroots organization machine, we depend on volunteers and a lot. That's how we are able to get these things done. Act for America has helped pass 178 bills on the federal level and the state level to protect the country. And it was mostly done by volunteers working so hard, working with us. Our staff is small. Just imagine what we can do with a serious budget. I mean, the Democrats have budgets to the tune of $50 million, $100 million a year per organization. Right. We're barely operating under $5 million. I mean, we need help, and it goes down to investment. So whether you are a donor who is able to donate in big numbers or whether you are somebody who works 2 jobs, if you can stand with us with the price of a cup of coffee a week, the price of a cup of coffee, that's it. That's all we want. A price of a cup of coffee from Starbucks or a cup of coffee from 7-Eleven 5 days a week. If you can stand with us at $20 a month or just support us with whatever amount you can, whether one time or monthly, we would be so grateful for you. Just imagine what we can do and how much more we can accomplish.
Well, Brigitte, it's been another fantastic show, encouraging people to come together, to be united by their patriotism, to put our money where our mouth is, and to be boots on the ground for our country. No one's going to do it. History is looking to us, folks. Let's not let our founding fathers down. Let's stand together and act for America. Go to actforamerica.org and sign up, get involved, and get activated at Act for America. Another great show. Thank you, Brigitte, for being with me today.
Thank you, Brent, and thank you, our viewers. We appreciate you. Thank you for your time. Thank you for welcoming us into your home. May God bless you, and may God bless the United States of America. Do you use a cell phone? Of course you do. You are probably watching me on one right now. Big Tech, who provides your service, takes a portion of their proceed, the money that you pay for your plan, and puts it right in the pocket of lefty radical organizations like Antifa and Planned Parenthood. If you have AT&T right now, you are basically funding CNN, who dumps on your values, your religion, your freedom, and everything you stand for. Conservative Americans are funding those who are waging war on their beliefs and their ideals. You need to check out Patriot Mobile, the only conservative Christian cell phone company in America that shares your values. They not only provide exceptional service, but they donate a portion of their profits to conservative organizations fighting for freedom, family values, the Second Amendment, freedom of speech, secure borders, and the list goes on and on. While many companies in America are caving to the woke left, Patriot Mobile doubles down on their strong stand for our values. I love them. I respect them. I know the owners personally. They are my friends, and I want all of you to check them out. Give your money to those who stand with you and support your values. You will get the same nationwide coverage and unlimited text and data, but at better prices. You can keep your phone and your cell phone number. You will be saving money and knowing that a portion of your bill is going directly to support causes you believe in. It is time to put our money where our values are. Stop funding the enemy and start supporting those who fund our fight to preserve America. Go to patriotmobile.com and use ACT to get a free activation.